Tonight, a part-time mayor. That's one option suggested by a study as Superior looks to cut down on spending. Plus, poor market conditions. That's the reason U.S. Steel says it terminated a number of non-union employees today. But first, as folks in Minnesota prepare to head to the deer stand, experts say the outlook for hunting opener looks promising.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening and happy Friday. I'm Kristen Baki. Anthony has the night off. It's the night before the firearm deer opener in Minnesota, and in just a few hours, many hunters will be heading out to their deer stands, some even before the sun rises. And I'm sure many are wondering if the weather will be working in their favor this weekend. Dave, what's in store?
Well, weather is in the eye of the beholder, of course. Some folks love it bitterly cold for deer season. Others like it a little bit milder. Many like a little bit of snow to help the deer stand out and to track if need be. I think we're getting some of that tracking snow because it's already coming down for many of our towns. Low pressure system coming in from the northwest is starting to kick up some snow showers, especially around the head of the lake, slicking up the roadways a little bit, so do drive cautiously. This low is leading with its warm front, so after a couple of chilly days, things are going to mellow out as far as the temperatures go, but sunshine should disappear pretty much all weekend long because that high over Michigan now is getting out of range of our region. So, without any further ado, the deer planner for the Minnesota opener with that low in place. The bulk of any snow could come tonight overnight, and by sunrise time tomorrow, maybe devolving towards just flurries. Persistent flurries that could keep popping off all day long, maybe even into early Sunday morning. Low temp around 23 tomorrow morning will give way to 35 in the afternoon. The warmest day perhaps of the next 7. We'll eye up the 7-day forecast for the rest of the week, of course, coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. On the eve of Saturday's deer opener, hundreds of thousands of hunters are putting the final preps on their plans to spend a much-anticipated weekend in the woods. And luckily for them, as Dave mentioned, this year the weather conditions are lining up pretty well. CBS 3's Alex Livy explains why some hunters say this is shaping up to be a good year.
Gary Gagnon is a longtime hunter from Cotton, Minnesota, who has high hopes for opening weekend.
Like I said, I hope one of my boys' bag's the big one.
He adds, with frigidly cold weather on the horizon, that will make for ideal hunting conditions.
Oh, I think this is great weather. It's, it's making everything hard up in Cotton because it's all a swamp, so at least you can walk across it now.
But with that, a few extra steps are necessary while spending hours in a deer stand.
We'll dress warm and take lots of hand warmers. A thermos of hot coffee is another. Gotta have that.
For Gagnon, deer hunting is more than bagging the big one.
It's a good time. I get to spend time with my boys, and, it's the best time of year, I guess.
Scott Van Lokenberg, the owner of Fisherman's Corner, says the later start to the season this year will make for ideal hunting.
I think they say that the peak is usually around the 9th of November. So I think it's just about perfect.
He also says for him, snow on the ground is the biggest benefit.
As you get older, like myself, it sure is nice if you can see them a little background. But
with all these factors on the side of the hunters, he expects this year's harvest to be one to remember.
Should be a darn good year. Yep.
Van Valkenburg said he is expecting to sell 15,000 licenses today alone, with about half of those being out-of-state licenses. Meanwhile, there's a new rule some Minnesota hunters will need this season. Aiken Area Wildlife Manager Russell Rice says a wild deer tested positive for chronic wasting disease last winter. The DNR's response set a 15-mile perimeter around where the deer was found and established it as hunting zone 604. In 604, hunters will be required to take their deer carcass in for mandatory CWD testing. That excludes fawns.
If we don't go after this and try and keep this in check, it's just a matter of time. It will be in every deer hunter's backyard. But we're still early enough here that we think, both in this location and in the state in general, that we can have positive impacts by being this aggressive and working this hard on them.
We'll hear from hunters in that zone and how this affected them tomorrow on the CBS 3 News at 6. Well, right now, Highway 53 remains closed near Orr after what sounds like a nasty crash. It happened just south of Orr around 5:30 this evening. Very few details are available, including injuries or how many vehicles were involved. According to MnDOT, 53 remains closed in both directions. Look for updates online at CBS3Duluth.com. A number of non-union U.S. Steel employees were terminated today, including some who work at Mintac and Keytac on the Iron Range. A new operating structure and challenging market conditions prompted the move, which impacted employees across the country. In a statement to CBS3, a company spokesperson said, in part, quote, "We've been battling challenging market conditions, which means we need to truly become a leaner, more efficient organization faster. As part of this process, we're taking the difficult step to eliminate a number of non-represented positions in the United States, including at our Mintac and Keytac facilities." While the company would not confirm how many positions were eliminated, a source close to the situation told us an estimated 30 people were terminated between the Mintac and Keytac facilities. The man killed this week in a crash at an Iron Range mine has been identified as a 51-year-old Gilbert man. According to the Mesabi Daily News, Ken Matson was driving a mine service vehicle at the Menorca mine when it crashed on a haul road Tuesday morning. Matson, a longtime employee of the Menorca mine, was pronounced dead at the scene. That crash remains under investigation. The U.S. Department of Transportation has awarded the Bad River Band $2.3 million in funding for improvements near U.S. Highway 2. The funding will be used to rebuild Old Odana Road between McDonald Road and Highway 2 and Bear Trap Road. Floodwaters have inundated the two stretches of road over the last several years, causing significant damage. The funding is part of the U.S. DOT's Build Grants program. The city of Superior is looking through a lot of recommendations after hiring a consulting firm to address issues like staffing concerns, budgeting, and technology upgrades. One suggestion, a part-time mayor. CBS 3's Jenna Wells spoke with city officials about their opinion on the firm's findings.
Some unexpected suggestions. That's how Superior Mayor Jim Payne feels about the recent suggestions from a consulting firm that studied the city.
They made the recommendation about a change in government structure, which is not what we asked them to do. That's not something that I think the city of Superior is interested in right now. That's not to say councilors won't talk about it now.
The report recommended hiring a full-time city administrator and cutting the mayor's position to part-time. The study cited several other smaller Wisconsin cities that operate the same way, but Payne says cutting down his position doesn't make sense.
You don't go backwards in community development. Most communities go forward and increase their staff as they grow in size and complexity.
Rather than decreasing the mayor's hours, he says hiring an additional administrator could be an option, but it's not currently a necessity.
I would absolutely love more administrative assistance. That doesn't mean that's necessarily what's best for the city right now, though. There are a lot of departments that are also understaffed, and they need to be staffed as well.
Payne says the firm's study did provide some important recommendations in regards to updated technology.
We need much more significant software in a number of departments, especially our finance department. So we're going to be working pretty aggressively over the next year to invest in what really bringing us into the 21st century.
City Council Vice President Craig Sutherland says the councilors haven't had a chance to speak with the consulting firm about their findings, so he doesn't think it's fair to make any judgment just yet. Councilors will meet with the consulting firm on Tuesday. Ultimately, Payne says how the city moves forward is up to its people.
Superior City Council President Brent Fennessy and Vice President Craig Sutherland released an official statement to CBS3 about the consulting firm's study. They said the study is an unbiased report about how efficient they are as a city. They can now decide which recommendations will help them stretch each tax dollar. You can read that full statement on our website. Bookworms rejoice. Cloquet broke ground on an expansion for the city's public library. The building is receiving a 7,000 square foot addition. It's funded in part by the Minnesota Department of Education, the city, and private donations. The project adds a new meeting hall and conference room, an expanded children's library, and more. The entire project costs about $2 million, something those behind the expansion say will pay major dividends.
It provides a needed space for socializing. It provides resources that people otherwise can't get in their homes. It also provides programs that enrich the lives of our community members. So we're really happy that we are able to offer those services.
The project should be finished by early next summer. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, a scary situation in Duluth as someone posed as a police officer and even conducted a traffic stop. The warning signs authorities say you should look out for after the break.
This morning's low temp was only 9 above here in the Twin Ports, but by tomorrow morning, maybe around 20 above. Warmest day of the week coming up, just in time for Minnesota Deer Opener. Another cool down's coming. We'll talk about when it hits coming up after our break.
Water makes life possible on Earth and in our homes. Culligan conserves this resource with its high-efficiency water softener, the world's best because it uses less water, and that matters to all of us. Click or call Culligan Water and start saving today.
You already know that Carey Toyota Superior is a great place to buy and service your vehicle, but we have a lot more to offer every driver and not just people with Toyotas. We have the Yakima line of products for the adventure seekers, including roof racks, bike and kayak racks, and cargo carriers. We also have running boards, bed steps, and Axis brand tonneau covers like I put on my truck. And for those of you who like a clean vehicle, we have professional detailing services and all-weather floor liners from Toyota and WeatherTech. Carey Toyota Superior, we have something for every driver.
Cat Country 98.9 has a new morning show with JD and Brooke every weekday morning from 6 till 10. Duluth Superior's live and local morning show. JD and Brooke in the morning. The hottest country all day in the Northland. Cat Country 98.9.
We all want fast internet, but getting more speed usually means paying way more. Until now. Introducing Extreme Access Internet 60. Real high-speed internet that comes with a real low price. Finally, you don't have to compromise on your speed to get the price you need. Enjoy fast speeds up to 60 meg and powerful home Wi-Fi for $24.99 a month for a year. Get more speed for your life and your budget. Call 844-EXTREME2.
At Cracker Barrel, we're cooking up warm feelings of home this season with country fried turkey, hand-breaded, fried till crispy, and topped with holiday herbed gravy. Our take on a festive favorite is back, and it's only at Cracker Barrel. So come on home for the holidays. Come on home to Cracker Barrel.
My 95.7 is the Northland's best variety all day. From Ed Sheeran and Maroon 5 to Lady Gaga and Bryan Adams. Always family and office friendly. My 95.7, your life, your music.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Our 60 to 70% chance for light snow has already paid off for a lot of towns, including Ely, where we're eyeing up Sheridan Street and Central Avenue. And yeah, the roadways are getting covered by a thin coating of fairly dry snow, so it's not skating rink slippery out there, but it is a little bit slick. Coming back to work in between breaks here, you know, I had a little trouble with my brakes, just running some all seasons right now rather than the snow tires, and so we need to be cautious. You don't need 6 inches of snow to have troubles on the roadways, so you should always be careful when this stuff comes down, and it could continue to come down tonight and then become flurries for much of Saturday and early Sunday as well. We'll show a chart in just a little bit about how much we're expected to get. But first, of course, we're going to show you those current conditions at the airport here in Duluth as we take a live local look at what's happening near I-35 in downtown Duluth as well. But right now up over the hill, yeah, we're getting some light snow. 27 is the current temp. That warm front's really starting to bump things up for us. The wind is southerly 5 miles per hour. Warm front in the south wind, 2 factors ending the cold snap, at least for a day. Relative humidity 75%, and air pressure becoming a little bit low at 29.93. Low pressure system likely will be with us and keep us on the cloudier side, perhaps through Monday, at least aloft. Down at the surface, though, cold temperatures will return by Veterans Day. Cold temperatures right now, Well, for some folks, perhaps this would be cold, but after the past couple of days, 30 in Moose Lake is pretty nice. 22 Hibbing, 23 International Falls, 25 in Silver Bay, 28 degrees for Superior and Hayward, too. 27 Ashland, and low to mid-20s in the Upper Peninsula. 31 right by the lake for Grand Marais. So they're not always among the coldest in that neck of the woods. Sometimes there's a little victory towards the border as well. And skirting the border, we do have that snow chance coming across. Low pressure system centered towards our northwest. Warm front is starting to push that lighter snow towards the head of the lakes, and the actual lift of the low pressure system is keeping things going around the Canadian border. And if you're not seeing any light snow in your neck of the woods right now, you probably will here as the low pressure system continues to track towards our region. And again, thanks to this warm front, our big cool pool of air from the past couple of days is going away, at least for a little while. This low pressure system brings the best chance for snow tonight, as I mentioned, probably light stuff and flurries, but through persistence it could add up. To what? Well, we'll fire that up right now. Here's the chart. Come Sunday morning, it looks like a trace to about 2 inches for most of our towns. Now, the forecast tonight in Minnesota tells us that the low temps around the region will be 20 to 25 degrees instead of 5 to 10 like this morning. In Wisconsin, Michigan, about 22 to 24. For tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, highs near 35 degrees with a cloudy sky and a 40% chance for some more flurries. Minnesota, look for a 30% chance for flurries on Saturday with highs 29 by International Falls to as warm as 37 on Park Point. Extended forecast, what does it say? Well, after the light snow chance ends on Sunday, the clouds do linger, mostly cloudy on 25 Sunday. Then Arctic air slides under the clouds Monday. That's a pretty chilly day. 5 degrees for the start on Veterans Day, 15 for the finish. Only slight improvement on Tuesday, Kristen, but maybe by next Friday, back into the 30s again.
Thanks, Dave. When you suddenly see flashing lights behind you while driving, it's normal to automatically think you're getting pulled over by a cop. But there's a warning tonight from police after someone in Duluth reportedly has been pulled over by someone pretending to be law enforcement. That scary traffic stop happened a few weeks ago in Duluth. The woman claims she was pulled over on Trinity Road between Arlington Avenue and Piedmont Avenue. She says the man who approached her car claimed to be campus security at Lake Superior College. Duluth police reached out to LSC officials who said the officer is not with the college. Officials from LSC say campus security doesn't have the authority to pull anyone over outside of campus. We spoke with a member of the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office who says there are some ways to identify a police officer to determine if they are legitimate. The first thing to do is check if someone approaching your car has on a full uniform. Another thing you can always do is ask to see an officer's badge or ID card. And if you're feeling unsafe or unsure, you can call 911 and the dispatcher will be able to confirm if the officer is legitimate. Officials say it all comes down to making sure you stay safe.
If they're on the stop, obviously be polite, be courteous, and relay that you're concerned that this is an official traffic stop and dial 911. If you're at that point where this just does not seem right, go ahead, find that well-lit area, populated area to pull over in.
The sergeant says cases like this are extremely rare, and you should always assume you're being pulled over by a police officer until you're given a reason to doubt that that's the case. Duluth police say they haven't received any other reports like that one. You can find more of a description and information about the man in question on our website, CBS3Duluth.com. Newly released testimony in the impeachment inquiry reveals more about the role President Trump's acting White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, had in discussions about Ukraine. And lawyers for former National Security Advisor John Bolton say there's more information on White House meetings that he could share. CBS News correspondent Bofta Yamim has more from Capitol Hill.
President Trump denounced the impeachment inquiry again Friday, while House Democrats prepare for next week's televised open hearings.
Well, they shouldn't be having public hearings. This is a hoax. This is just like the Russian witch hunt. This is just a continuation.
As he left the White House for Georgia, the president maintained that his July phone call with the leader of Ukraine, where he brought up investigations of the 2016 election and Joe Biden, was perfect. Here on Capitol Hill, newly released transcripts from two key witnesses suggest the president's acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, helped establish the terms of a possible quid pro quo. Fiona Hill, the former White House senior Russia director, told lawmakers Mulvaney's name came up at a July meeting. She said U.S. Ambassador to the EU, Gordon Sondland, was talking about how he had an agreement with Chief of Staff Mulvaney for a presidential meeting with the Ukrainians if they were going to go forward with investigations. White House Ukraine Director Alex Vindman was at the meeting and said he heard the same thing, that the Ukrainians would have to deliver an investigation into the Bidens. It was explicit. There was no ambiguity.
I never said there was a quid pro quo, because there isn't.
Mulvaney, who ignored a subpoena to testify Friday, has downplayed his role. And in a court filing, lawyers for former National Security Advisor John Bolton say he has more he can share with Congress if a federal judge clears the way. Bolton, they write, had many relevant meetings and conversations that have not yet been discussed in the testimonies thus far. Bofta Imam, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Bolton failed to appear for a deposition on Thursday. House committees declined to subpoena him. Still to come on Live Local CBS3, the CDC says they've made a breakthrough in the outbreak of vaping illnesses. We'll tell you what they discovered after the break.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota, home of the largest selection of SUVs in the Northland. Visit KohlerToyota.com for 50th anniversary specials.
The best relationships all have a few things in common. They're dependable. They want what's best for you. They come in all shapes and sizes. But most importantly, the best relationships are built to last. You and Blue.
Do you know what the U of M does for you? From farms to breweries and orchards to markets, discover how the University of Minnesota is cultivating a new crop of Minnesota businesses.
Whether you're tuning up your truck or tuning into the game, get everything you need at Fleet Farm. This week, get great deals on things like Supreme Power automotive batteries, $10 off our low fleet price. Fleet Farm walnuts, 1 pound, $4.99. And Diamond Naturals large bag dog food, $3 off our low fleet price. Plus, get 4 cents off each gallon of gas at your local Fleet Farm fuel center after any in-store purchase. Fleet Farm is built for every season. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
The Dish voice remote just got even more powerful. Why'd we put so much technology in there?
You don't think I've watched a lot of football?
You want to put a little wager on it? Bet.
So you can settle that bet without ever taking your eyes off the game.
How many D1 football teams are there?
What you do with that power?
Oh, it's gotta hurt.
Well, that is totally up to you.
Don't look so sad, man. Come on, we're having fun.
New Dish voice remote with the Google Assistant. Dish, tuned into you.
We build innovative trucks to serve the people who depend on them. Cabins to comfort. Power to do more. Now to say thank you, we're extending our Employee Pricing Plus to everyone. What's right for the people who build your trucks is right for you. Welcome to the Ram Nation.
Well-qualified returning FCA lessees can lease the 2019 Ram 1500 Classic for $238 a month, or purchase and get 22% below MSRP on the 2019 Ram 1500 Classic.
Black Cash Friday is back at Bad River Lodge and Casino, with prizes ranging from $500 to $1,000, totaling $5,000, from 5 p.m. to 11 on November 29th. That's one way to win this winter, and we'll see you at Bad River Lodge and Casino.
Get Smart Wool at Northwest Outlet, the store that saves you more.
Classic Rock KQ, the Northland's #1 radio station for almost 40 years. We thank you for making us the Northland's #1 radio station. Classic Rock 95 KQDS.
The CDC says it's making progress in the investigation into vaping-related lung injuries and deaths. Today, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced that vitamin E acetate in combination with THC may be to blame for the national outbreak of e-cigarette lung injuries. THC is the psychoactive ingredient in cannabis or marijuana. Despite calling this revelation a breakthrough, the CDC says more tests need to be done. Officials say the initial findings do not eliminate other ingredients as a cause of harm. As of Tuesday, the CDC said it was aware of more than 2,000 cases of lung injuries linked to vaping across 49 states, Washington, D.C., and the U.S. Virgin Islands. There have been at least 40 deaths. All right, switching gears here, Neil, a little rhyming tonight. What's going on in sports?
Oh, it was a big night for all kinds of sports fans out there. We had state football kicking off for local area teams in Wisconsin and Minnesota, plus a tough test for the number 7 Bulldogs as they hosted top-ranked Denver. Those highlights coming up right after the break.
With the giving season just around the corner, it's the perfect time to add a new member to your family. That's why several area animal shelters are coming together for the Subaru Love a Pet adoption event at Miller Hill Subaru. November 9th is Catterday, featuring all-day cat adoptions. Sunday, November 10th, is Pup Day, with all-day dog adoptions. There will be holiday pet photos and a free microchip with an item off our wish list. Join us at Miller Hill Subaru for this exciting event.
We not only have
Blasting business banter. Your top salesman is working from home while working to close a deal. But his Uncle Larry decided to stop by 2 weeks ago. This looks like a job for Smile Power. Good thing your employees have dental insurance backed nationally by over 65 years of motor defending experience. So their healthy deal closers are always ready to close. Unleash your Smile Power with Delta Dental.
There are a lot of reasons why someone chooses to be an attorney, but I was motivated by one reason. I wanted to help people. And I've built Nicolay Law to become a firm full of people who are motivated to help others.
Clients generally come to us when they feel like their lives have been turned upside down.
So that's where we come in and they have somebody on their side.
And they leave feeling as though they can rebuild their lives or grow from there.
Nicolay Law, the North Shore's injury, disability, and bankruptcy law firm.
Have you been thinking of a new kitchen? Turn drab into fab. Skip's Home Center can make your outdated cooking space shine again with a new 10x10 oak kitchen for as little as $1,675. We have the largest selection of in-stock cabinets in the Northland and an outstanding team of professionals who can answer any questions you have. We also offer an at-home design viewer before purchasing so you know exactly how it'll look before owning. Buy today. Enjoy your new kitchen tonight. Visit us online at skipshomecenter.com or stop in to see our showroom at 4728 Rice Lake Road in Duluth.
When news happens, CBS3 is there. The smoke is still really heavy. You can smell it.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm. Anytime, day or night.
And while this is a very active scene, the public is being asked to stay away from the area.
Good afternoon. I'm Kristen Bakke. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news out of Cloquet this morning. CBS3 first got word of this fire and went to the scene at around 3:30.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, turn to CBS3.
Live Local is my favorite thing about CBS. It's let's let everyone know exactly what's going on in their communities. Let's make sure that they get the news that impacts their hometowns as quickly as they possibly can so they know what's going on in their communities. They know what's impacting them, and they know what's happening day to day, minute by minute, hour by hour.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Live Local, CBS3 Duluth. Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinseth.
Hello, I'm Neil Viersma. Kelly Hinseth has the night off. The UMD men's hockey team sitting at 3-3 on the season, looking to start conference play off on the right foot, but with an undefeated Denver team in town, the 7th-ranked Bulldogs and the top-ranked Pioneers. First period, Denver already up 1-0. Brett Edwards gets it past Hunter Shepard. It's 2-0 Pioneers, but here come the Bulldogs. A bouncing puck gets to Cole Koepke, and the former Hermantown Hawk buries it. Deficit back down to 1 after 1. On to the third. Bulldogs down 3-1 now, but on a power play, Nick Swaney finds Kobe Roth. What a pass. 3-2 with just over 8 minutes left. Down under a minute extra attacker for the Bulldogs. Scott Perunovich hits Noah Cates, and it's in. 31 seconds on the clock. Ties it up to force overtime. This one would end in a 3-3 tie, but Denver gets an extra point in the shootout. The Northwestern football team has won 11 straight games, looking as strong as ever, but tonight was their toughest test yet, also against the also undefeated Stratford Tigers, a team that hasn't allowed a single point all season. Northwestern looking to change that opening drive of the game. Stratford takes it all the way down the field, and Bo Gross caps it off with a touchdown run, 6-0. The home Tigers answer back, taking it to the red zone themselves, but Jake Brill is picked off by Logan Schmidt. Stratford takes over, and that would lead to this. Max Schwab swings it to Matt Hendrick, but Isaiah Hurry chases him down at the 10. Ball comes loose, and Isaiah Nichols is there to recover. Northwestern, though, they can't do anything with it. Ensuing Stratford possession, Gross is in again. He had 4 touchdowns on the night, and Stratford remains unscored upon. They eliminate Northwestern 35-0. In Class 2A, 5-seed Moose Lake Willow River taking on the 4th-seeded Paynesville Rebels, moving the chains on their opening drive, but it's copped up by Logan Orvidal, and the Bulldogs recover. And they would march all the way down the field for the score, and then the Rebels will trail 6-0 after that. Trying to bounce back, Rebels go back to the ground, and it's stripped by Levi Bass. It's a tough outing for the Moose Lake Willow River offense with 6 total turnovers in the first half alone. To the second quarter now, 12-0 Bulldogs. Gary Fuchs airs it out, and Bass comes down with it, making plays all over the field. He scampers in for the eventual touchdown, and the Rebels fall 56-8, the final. In 9-man action, top-seeded Southridge battling 8th-seeded Mountain Iron Buell at PSS here in Duluth. The Rangers may have been seeded lower in this one, but they sure didn't play like an 8-seed. Asher Zubik dumps one off to wide-open Sam Locken for 6-0 MIB. And how about the half for this guy? Zubik drops back and fires deep to Dylan Drake, who comes down with it. 14-zip Rangers. Drake wasn't finished second quarter. He gets the ball off the read option, uses the stiff arm on a few Panther defenders, and then he's off to the races. No one's catching him, 20-0. Then how about another? Drake adds another long scamper before the half, and MIB advances with the 42-6 win. In the NBA, Wolves trying to snap a 2-game skid against the Warriors. Early on, Wolves up 4. Andrew Wiggins puts Willie Cauley-Stein through the spin cycle. Nice move to the hoop, 8-2 Wolves. 40 points on the night for him. Timberwolves get it done, 125-119 in OT. Bucks continue their road trip at Utah to face the Jazz. First quarter, Bucks trail by 7. Chris Middleton hits the tough contested three-pointer, pulling Milwaukee within 4. And at last check, the Jazz lead 94-92 in the 4th. Now that's all for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. Frequent hand washing is the most effective way to stay healthy during cold and flu season. Do your part to limit the spread of germs.
Alexa, turn on the house lights.
Lease an Escape for just $249 a month, only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Real STIHL. Find yours. Pick up the BG50 blower for only $139.95 or grab the easy-to-use BG56 CE handheld blower. For the biggest jobs, go for the most powerful backpack blower in the STIHL lineup, the BR800 CE for $649.95.
I wish that I would have gone to Aspen Dental years ago. I've always had rough teeth, so once a technician told me that they could have the dentures ready for me within a matter of days, I was in shock. Having the denture lab on site was absolutely convenient. Almost a year later, my daughter will still come up to me and say, "Mommy, smile, I want to see them again." It makes me so happy.
At Aspen Dental, we're all about yes. Like yes to dentures you can trust with a 7-year warranty. Yes to custom-crafted dentures with our on-site lab. And yes, we'll have you feeling beautiful. Call now or book online at aspendental.com.
Continue celebrating Native American Heritage Month in November all month long at Black Bear Casino Resort. Friday, November 15th, join us for a free comedy show in the Otter Creek Event Center with the Chiefs of Comedy at 7 p.m. And every day, enjoy Native American-inspired dishes with specials at Seven Fire Steakhouse, The Buffet, and the Sage Deli. Visit BlackBearCasinoResort.com for more information on Native American Heritage Month events. Make the Bear your place.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS3 Duluth. Here's this week's CBS3 Game Day lineup. Brought to you by Kohler Hyundai. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler. New fall fashions are arriving daily at Mainstream Fashions for Men at Mainstream, downtown Duluth.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. If you're hunting this weekend, good luck. If not, just enjoy the weekend. We'll see you next week.